8 magical Marvel characters we want in the MCU. This is Nerdist Now. WandaVision gave us a lot in its brief 9-episode run, including unanswered questions, a sense of unfathomable dread, and fun TV parodies. But it also gave us the devious and divine witch Agatha Harkness and a greater understanding of Wanda Maximoff's true magical nature. And that got us thinking. Now that the MCU has welcomed in both the cosmic and the mystical with open arms, all we can think about is what other magical beings from Marvel Comics will find a home on screens both big and small. Here are 8 of Marvel's most magical we want on a show or in a movie. And for a further breakdown of these characters, be sure to check out Rosie Knight's piece on Nerdist.com. Clea. Marvel Comics characters often have bizarre lineages, but this magic user just happens to be the illegitimate niece of Dormammu himself. In the comics, she learns the ways of sorcery from none other than Stephen Strange, and possesses powers of both dark dimensional mortals and the Faltinians, extra-dimensional beings of pure magic. Her wide power set includes throwing magical bolts of energy, conjuring objects, teleporting, telekinesis, controlling others' minds, and casting illusions. She and Doctor Strange have a very long history in the comics. They got married and are now separated, thank you very much. And we hope that makes its way into the MCU. Shuma Gorath. Things don't get much more powerful than one of the Marvel Universe's very own cadre of great old ones. Basically, a massive eyeball with tentacles, Shuma Gorath is said to be one of the primal powers of chaos, which, as we know, is the force that gives the Scarlet Witch her unfathomable powers. It'd be pretty great to bring in some legitimate Lovecraftian horrors into the MCU, especially as Doctor Strange and Wanda's next outing is the aptly named Multiverse of Madness. Shandu the Mystic. A character that predates even Marvel's first family, the Fantastic Four. Shandu is a lecturer turned criminal turned bartender who has a lot of weird stuff happen to him. While not nearly as powerful as some of the characters on our list, he can cast several incongruous spells, like draining strength, and a mystical rain that causes already unconscious people to go mad. He can also turn himself into an eldritch abomination with bat wings, tentacles for arms, and chicken feet. Oh, and Shandu's real name is Harvey Schlemmerman. I mean, come on. Dr. Druid. If there's one thing Marvel Comics loves, it's people with postmaster's degrees. Dr. Druid was originally psychologist Dr. Anthony Ludgate, who became so good at Druidic mysticism that he had his name legally changed to Dr. Druid. He was once in line to take over from the Ancient One before that upstart Stephen Strange eclipsed him. Despite his distaste for Doctor Strange, Dr. Druid has been a member of several heroic organizations over the years and was even an Avenger for a time. But his arrogance and weakness for the ladies proved he was more a liability than an asset. He'd make for yet another good adversary in the MCU. Morgan Le Fay. A huge swath of Marvel mythology incorporates Arthurian myth, and no character is as tied to that as Morgan, King Arthur is my G-darn half-brother Le Fay. She was formerly the leader of the Darkholders, the magical sect that controlled the Darkhold. You know, the magical book of the damned Agatha Harkness had, and which, spoiler alert, Scarlet Witch straight up ganked in the last episode of WandaVision. Her list of powers could probably fill a second, even darker hold. She can cast spells, warp reality, travel in time, grant powers to others, plus she's a necromancer who can resurrect herself when she dies. She's been a foe of the Avengers and Excalibur, and an ally to people like Doctor Doom. While Morgan has already been in a live-action Marvel series, the MCU continuity is likely not going to keep anything from the Runaway show. Sorry, Elizabeth Hurley. Modred the Mystic. Another Mystic? Why, yes. You've probably heard a lot about Chthon thanks to our WandaVision videos, so let's talk about one of his nemeses, Modred, not to be confused with Mordred, the Mystic. He once tried to defeat Chthon but ended up trapped in a crypt. As happens, it was this dark magic that ended up gifting him his powers. Corrupted by Chthon, he became linked with the Darkhold, able to access any spell within its pages. He also helped Wanda return to the magical Mount Wundagore, and he was in Bova the cow's care when Magneto discovered that he was the father of Wanda and Pietro. Awkward. Though he sometimes uses his powers for good, he's a complex and angry man who harbors a deep hatred for Doctor Strange. Go figure. Dr. Voodoo. Jericho Drum, aka Dr. Voodoo, aka Brother Voodoo, is another of Doctor Strange's most powerful allies. A native of Port-au-Prince, Haiti, Drum is an accomplished psychologist who learned the magical arts to become the Hogun Supreme of Haiti, possessing such awesome powers as pyrokinesis, smoke manipulation, hypnosis, and when threatened he can call upon the spirit of his brother Daniel to become literally as powerful as 2 men. Dr. Voodoo was also a member of the Avengers and fought against the likes of Dracula and Doctor Doom. Plus, he one time summoned an army of zombies to help Doctor Strange and co. defeat an army of vampires. So that's cool as shit and might come in handy once Blade joins the MCU. And finally, Man-Thing. Dear heavens, we want Man-Thing in the MCU so bad our teeth hurt. Not only is he a giant plant creature with the ability to change shape, fly, control other plant life, and secrete acid, gross, he's also the dang guardian of the Nexus of all realities. The Nexus will become very important in Wanda Maximoff's future, so Man-Thing should probably be involved in a big way. He can travel between dimensions and bring things from one into the other. As such, he can also speak the universal language, which allows him to communicate with everything from Hellspawn to alien creatures. He's a mossy Rosetta Stone, basically. And there you have it, just 8 magical, mystical Marvel characters we sure hope join the ranks of the MCU soon. But what do you think? Any magic users you were hoping for that we didn't mention? Are you a doctor of some kind of sorcery? Or just a mystic? Let us know in the comments below, and for anything else in the world of pop culture, keep it glued to Nerdist.com.